Hey there, Descendants, my fellow Americans, and people in other countries around the world. How are we all doing today? Today, we're going to be sort of discussing where the community's head is at in terms of the game in an overall sense, kind of more like a general sense. I'm not saying that everyone who has issues with the game approaches it with the perspectives that I'm going to kind of talk about in the video. But I am going to, so this video is going to kind of be like, to the people who heavily dislike the game or who have had bad experiences with the game or whatever the case might be. It's going to be kind of a, well, maybe you approached it the wrong way, and it's not to say that like, oh, you don't understand the game or anything like that, but it's like, um, with a lot of the comments and like complaints that I get on my videos and stuff like that, I'm excluding the constructive criticism from this, right? The constructive criticism is in a different ballpark when I'm talking about these things. Um, but like the main thing I feel like I kind of infer from these things is that a lot of these people, like they kind of isolate themselves in the game for like a number of hours. Maybe they're antisocial, maybe they don't like playing with people, whatever the case might be. And like when you do that for literally any multiplayer game, of course your experience is going to be drastically poorer versus like actually interacting with the community and stuff like that. Because me, like as a content creator, like I do this for the community. I do the live streams for you guys. I make, funny clips out of certain sections of my gameplay for you guys, like and upload them as shorts. Like I make these videos for you guys so we can have a platform to discuss the game on and like kind of open all of our minds, not just me opening yours and you just opening mine, but kind of having a dialogue, a discussion about the game and like maybe the current state that it's in and stuff like that. Because like here's the thing about games like this, especially games like this game, like it's an MMO light, it's in the name. So like why would you kind of play in a solo venture like 90%, 80% of the time, whatever the case may have been, and then you say, okay, this game isn't fun. Well, of course it's not fun to you because you're not sitting here, you're not making jokes with your friends, you're not helping them out, you're not helping them grow to the level that you may or may not be at, and it's just kind of like when people approach this game with a critical viewpoint and like okay, well, this thing is wrong, so this thing about the game is bad. It's just like I feel like that's such a disservice to the game and like the effort that Nexon has put into it overall. Because like I'm in the minority when I say this, but I think the October update is amazing. I think it's just fine. I don't think the sword grind is bad in any way, shape, or form. And if you do dislike the sword grind, if you think it's too grindy, that's completely fine. I can definitely see why you would say that. But for me, like I'm not itching to get everything done in one day. You know what I mean? Like I still only have one copy of both of the swords. Like I really don't care that much. I would rather help out my friends and get them caught up. To kind of closer to my level. That way we can all enjoy the game a little bit more cohesively and stuff like that. Um, and that's because to me, like I much prefer like fucking about and like goofing off with my friends versus like actually just grinding solo or like getting serious and down to business in this game. And that's funny because like I'm actually quite a serious person. Thank you, random person. Anyway, so like when you silo or isolate yourself when it comes to this game, of course your enjoyment of the game and like the fun factor is going to be drastically lowered versus like actually like even playing with one other person, right? Like, and to the newer players who are watching this video, I highly suggest and recommend, I mean, either add me or like find a friend you can play with in the game at least semi consistently, like after you beat the story. Because like for me, I liked like when I first started playing the game, I liked doing it solo. You know what I mean? Like I was going through the story. I didn't want anyone to help me. I didn't want anyone to destroy everything, because for me that took the joy out of the game. Because obviously I was too weak to do anything when I first kind of loaded into the game. And the people who had spent, because I played it during like the first week or something like that. And like obviously the people who had spent every day of that week or whatever the case may have been on the game are obviously were stronger than me when I had like 2 or 3 days on it out of the week or the 2 weeks or whatever the case may have been back at the time, because I don't necessarily remember. But like the point is like if you're a newer player, like after you beat the main story, find some friends to play with, because the game is a lot more enjoyable that way. I'll tell you this, like I have had some good experiences playing the game solo. It's for me, it's fun either way most of the time. But like I said earlier, like I much prefer helping my friends out than I do like doing my own thing. Like working on my own stuff. I'd rather kind of backlog my own stuff for a little bit until more stuff comes out and get my friends caught up. That way I have more stuff to work on in the future. Because like here's the thing too, right? This kind of ties into the no content argument. I mean, of course, you're going to burn through all the content if you have nobody to play with, if you haven't actually engaged in the community in any way, shape, or form. And then that's inherently on you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the devs aren't releasing, huge updates. They're kind of drip feeding in a sense. But like at the same exact time, if you're aware of this, if you understand this, then why are you burning through all the content instantaneously and then just complaining about it online? You're shooting yourself in the foot when you're doing this. If you're not engaging in the community, if you're not being an active part of it, why are you even on this game in the first place? Like, if you're on a game, a multiplayer game, and you're not trying to engage in camaraderie and all these other things, what's the point of even playing the game? You know, like, genuinely, what's the point? Because it's like that's the entire premise of the games is to connect with people, to make friends, to help other people out, to give tips. That's the entire point of multiplayer games. I mean, even competitive ones, like you see, I mean, in esports and stuff like that, you'll see people say good shot or good move or whatever the case might be, and then like obviously if one person asks another for criticism or like advice, they're going to provide it, because it's like you're engaging in that community and like you're engaging within this idea of like, okay, I want these people to help me, to help myself make my gameplay better. And the same thing can be said here, right? Because like with my friend Austin, you guys know him from my stream. He didn't know how to use Bunny, and I had explained to him two or three times, and he actually figured it out by himself, how to kind of use her with her. I believe it's her 2 and then her 3. After you build up her gauge to a certain extent to use that AOE, um, and like, and it's just that kind of thing. Like if you're not extending a helping hand, if you're not sharing your experience and your expertise in the game with other people, and you're just sitting here and like kind of blaming Nexon for lack of content or whatever it might be, because here's the thing, all the content cycles together. That's why you can help new people as much as you can. That's why any area that they have unlocked, you can access that area. That's exactly what it is. And if they don't have the area unlocked, you can help them get to it because you, as an experienced player, have all of the game unlocked. You have the entire game at your disposal. So why not use that to your advantage to help out newer players? Help out players who are struggling. Help out players who are struggling to kind of understand X or Y about the game. Like why not give them tips about their builds, sit here and help them farm parts for their ultimate descendants. Like, you have to open your mind when it comes to this game. You can't just look at it from face value and say, okay, well, this game is bad, or this thing is bad about this game, or whatever the case might be. Look, looter shooters aren't for everyone, especially games like this. And I really hate the argument that it's like, oh, well, this game is too goonery. My brother in Christ, this game has been gooner material since day one. We all chose Viesa, okay? Every single one of us chose Viesa. Let's not beat around the bush here. Let's not bullshit. Everybody chose Viesa. I saw those titties. I instantly knew this game. I'm gonna like this game, right? Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm kind of. Look, is there things they can improve about the game? Absolutely. But are there things that are like are there things about the game's current state that people overlook and they don't appreciate? Fuck yes, there is. Absolutely. That's why I'm making this video, because it's like, just try to appreciate the game more. Make a friend. Play with somebody. And your perspective just might change. You know? If you're a retired player, whatever the case might be, if you dropped it at a certain point, come back, make a friend or two, like a newer player, whatever. Or hell, it could just be someone else who is an experienced player like you, but they don't have everything that you have, or you don't have everything that they have. Like you can do that too. Like the possibilities end with your perspective, right? The possibilities in this game, like you can do almost anything in this game. Like if you want to make the game harder, really insightful person commented this on my post because I kind of talked about this on Facebook. He was like, I mean, if people want to make the game harder, why don't they just remove some mods from their Descendants and go play the game? Like that's a really good idea, honestly. The game. Here's the thing about the game. This is the main takeaway from the video. You cultivate your own experience besides the RNG. You cultivate your own experience with this game. You work on what you want to work on. If you want to help people, it's infinitely easy to help people. If you want to just solo the entire thing and isolate yourself, you can do that. But like I said, I feel like that is just you're selling yourself short on this game if you do that. You know what I mean? Like genuinely, you are. Look, just give Nexon some grace. Like the game is good. It has good bones. We're off to a great start. This October update, it's much better than you might realize. Trust me on that. And next year is going to be good. I promise. You can mark my words. Next year is going to be great for this game. We're already doing good. You know, we had a rough start to season 3 with the blueprint loot and all that stuff, but we're in a better place now. Nexon kind of picked up the slack. The October update's really good. Okay, the October update's really good. Yeah, there's not a lot of content to be held and stuff like that, but or to behold, sorry. But we're getting 2 Descendants next month. November 6th, we're getting 2 Descendants. That's pretty good. We're getting 2 stories as well, right? We're getting 2 Descendant stories. We're getting 2 Descendants. You know what I mean? So that's at least a week's worth of content right there. And then, we'll probably get a new area added to from the Descendants. Probably a Void Vessel, I would imagine, or something like that. We'll see though. I forgot what the roadmap was. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's about it for this video. If you watched all the way into the end, please drop a comment down below. If you agree or disagree, just let me know in the comments below. Let's just be respectful, please. I'm not, and to all the people who say I'm not trying to be biased towards the game. I'm trying to kind of communicate to people who have a kind of a hate boner for this game why there might be more to appreciate than they originally had perceived, right? That's all I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to say, oh, everyone should love this game, this, that, the other. I'm just trying to say, maybe you can enjoy the game a little bit more than you have been. Maybe, I don't know. That's all I'm just trying to help, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm genuinely just trying to help. I'm trying to get the people who have serious critiques about the game towards like, oh, like this game is so terrible because of X or Y. I'm trying to kind of get these people to sort of see the beauty that this game has, kind of look past all the issues and stuff like that. Because every game has issues. We can go down a list. Every single game has issues. Let's not kid ourselves here. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.